Good morning to all of you. So we have started one new topic, that is National Biodiversity Act. So the main objectives of the Biological Diversity Act is to provide conservation of the biological diversity, sustainable use of its components, and fair and equitable sharing of the benefits that is arising out of the use of the biological resources and their associated knowledge. So we have discussed so many things under the Biological Diversity Act. What is CBD that we have discussed, conventions of biological diversity, then what are the objectives that also we have discussed. In today's lectures, we'll discuss about the filing procedures for the access and benefit sharing applications. Means while utilizing these biological resources, what process has to be followed and what are the different steps that has to be carried out for the filing these particular applications to the government, because we have already discussed there are two limitations they have given. We can utilize that biological sources, means we are seeing there are some exemptions that suppose if any foreigner will be there, or any NRI will be there, or if any organizations is outside the India, or if any organization which is situated inside the India but there is a non-Indian citizen member is there, so they have to take the prior permissions to utilize the resources. So for that purpose, they have to apply to the NBA. We have discussed regarding the mechanisms of national biodiversity, or under the National Biodiversity Act. So we know there is a three-tier mechanism. On a central level, it is our NBA. Then on state level, which is our SBB, and on a local level, which is BMC. What is NBA? Yes, anyone? What is NBA? What is SBB? And what is BMC in Biodiversity Act? Yes, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So what is NBA stands for?
So National Board of Accreditation.
We are talking about the Biodiversity Act. NBA आपल्या कॉलेजला करायचं पण आपण त्याच्याबद्दल नाही शिकवतोय सध्या. That we are talking about
Sir,
that academic
National
also.
Biodiversity Authority.
Yeah, right. It is National Biodiversity Authority. What is SBB stands for? That is State Biodiversity Board, which is working on a state level, NBA, which is work at a central level, and the BMC. So BMC म्हणजे बृहन्मुंबई Municipal Corporation सांगू नका. BMC, that means Biodiversity Management Committee. Okay, which will work on a local level because as we have already discussed, India is one of the mega diverse countries. So there are various types of components or various types of or variety of plants or animals or various resources are there that are available in Indian soil. So to utilize that resources, you have to take the permission from each and every state or each and every particular body. If you are Indian, you don't want to take the permission from the NBA, you can directly contact with the SBB, the State Board State Board, sorry, State Biodiversity Board, and you can directly go contact to the BMC also. But if you are a foreigner or if any organization associated with the Indian authority, but there is no any Indian person will be there, so they have to take the permission from the NBA. Now, the main aim of this particular Biological Diversity Act, and we have already discussed, is the three basic aim. What is the aim? First thing, The conservations of biological diversity. Second one, the sustainable use of its component. And third one, the fair and equitable sharing of the benefits that are arising from the genetic resources. So we have seen the development of the National Biodiversity Act in 2002, but which is actually comes in force in 2003 after the signing of Conventions of Biological Diversity. In 1992, India passed this particular act to conserve or to protect the species basically. Those are the important species are there that can be protected under this Biological Diversity Act. So in today's lectures we discuss what is the filing procedures for the means for such applications. So there are four basic applications are there through which four different forms are there that can be used. So form one that is called as the ABS applications. Okay. So the first form one that is ABS application. ABS that is stands for Access and Benefit Sharing Agreement or the Benefit Sharing Applications. Whenever you have to, means whenever any foreigner will be there, so there are different sections also. There are 25 sections are 26 sections under the Indian Act. So under that. Sorry, there are 197 sections and 24 chapters are there. So there are various chapters are there that we are not going to discuss. Just discuss some sections under chapter 2. Uh, who can access the biological resources? That we have already discussed, but what exactly mentions under this particular chapter that we are going to discuss? So under the section 3, no person that is referred to in subsection 2 means those we have already discussed. These are the persons. Those are the non-citizens or the non-resident of the Indian. Any institution which is registered or incorporated outside the India and Indian institutions with non-Indian participations in share capital or the management. So these persons without previous approval of the National Biodiversity Authority obtain any biological resources which are occurring in India or the knowledge which is associated thereto for research or for the commercial utilizations or for biosurvey and bioutilizations. So, who they are? The persons who shall be required to take the approval of the National Biodiversity Authority under the subsections are first is a person who is not citizens of the India. A person is a citizen of India but who is non-resident as defined in the clause 30 of the section 243 of 1961 of Income Tax Act. Means those are the non-resident NRI we are call them, or any body, corporate or any associations or any organization which is not incorporated or registered in India or else which is registered or incorporated in India under any law for the time being imposed which has any non-Indian participations in in its share capital or a management. Means what? First thing, those persons who are not citizens of India, means foreigners, they have to take the permission from the NBA for utilizing the biological resources or the knowledge which is associated with that particular biological resources. Second one, those are the NRIs, means those are the citizens of the India but non-resident in India. Then any organizations which is outside the India, which is not registered in India, or whether it is registered in India, but in that particular organizations there is no persons who is a citizen of the India which having the which having invested some capital in that particular organization. So these all the persons or these all the you can say the stakeholders that have to take the permissions from the NBA, that is National Biodiversity Act. But at the same time, if you are Indian citizens, you don't want to take the permissions from the NBA, but you have to inform the NBA. You have to take the permissions from that particular BNC and the SBB. But if in case if you have to apply for the IPR, means for the intellectual property or for the patenting, you must have to apply for the you must have to inform to the NPA. Without taking the prior permission from the National Biodiversity Authority, you cannot go for the intellectual property rights or for the patent. So there are four basic forms of that. First form, it is for the utilizations of biological resources. Second form, you have to fill for the transfer the result. Means if you are carried out work in India and you transfer the result from to the another countries, that you have to fill the form number 2. Form number 3, to get the intellectual property rights, means to get the patent on that particular research or patent on that particular activities. So you have to fill the form number 3. And form number 4 is to transfer the knowledge of the uh, what is the biological resources are there, the traditional knowledge are there to the third party. For that purpose, you have to fill the form number 4. We'll see what is the procedure is there. Then under section 4, results or the research that are not to be transferred to certain persons without approval of the National Biodiversity Authority. That just now I have explained. Then there is some exceptions are there. Means if you have taken the permission or if collaborative work will be carried out with the Indian government, then this particular section 3 and section 4 is not applicable. In section 6, applications for the intellectual property rights not to be made without approval of National Biodiversity Authority. So just now I have explained, if you have to take the patent, then you must have to apply or you must have to inform the NBA whether you are the Indian citizen or whether you are the foreigner. So you have to inform about that particular IPR to the National Biodiversity Authority before making any applications for the patent. Then under the section 7, you have to priorly intimate to the SBB, State Biodiversity Board. You have to intimate the State Biodiversity Board for obtaining the biological resources for a certain purpose. Because as we have discussed, BMC that having the basic knowledge on their territory. Then SBB that have the knowledge about that particular state. Then NBA that having the knowledge about the total means about all the states, right? So if you are utilizing the resources at a specific regions, so you have to take you have to intimate that you have to intimate the board of that specific regions that we are utilizing that particular resources for that purpose. So any biological resources for the commercial utilizations or a biosurvey or a bioutilizations for the commercial utilization shall be obtained after giving prior intimations to the SBB. Then section 8, that is the functions and the powers of National Biodiversity Authority that we have already discussed. Just will take a brief review. So it shall be duty of the NBA to regulate the activities, grant approval for the undertaking any activity which is referred in section 3, section 4 and section 6. The National Biodiversity Authority may advise the central governments on matter relating to the conservation of the biodiversity, so they can declare some heritage sites or sustainable use of its components and equitable sharing of the benefits which are arising out of the utilizations of that biological resources. That are the basic objectives and the functions of the National Biodiversity Authority. Now I
Hello,
will
sir.
discuss. Hello.
Please unmute yourself. We can't hear you.
Just 1 minute. Okay, now we'll discuss about the actual process of filing the applications. So, these are some operational guidelines that are given to the SPBs to processing of applications for access and biological resources which are received under Section 7 of the Biological Diversity Act. So, what are the steps are there that we are going to discuss? So, first we have to file the applications. Then, after the filing the application, there is a consultations with the biodiversity management committees. Then after consulting with the biodiversity management committee, it is again consulted with the some expert committees, which are some special persons. Those have the knowledge regarding that particular species or other things. Then after deciding in that particular expert committee's meeting, then there will be a determination of the benefits will be shared by that particular applicant and to the specifically to the BMC or to the SBB or to the NTAs also. Then grant for the approval and at the end the benefit sharing is monitored. So we'll see in detail what exactly they are. So first, on receipt of the completed application form, receipt of the applications, the officer or the person or the concerned authority that allow for the reference number to the applications and also for that purpose you have to pay the requested application fees and and that particular fees has to be deposited in state biodiversity fund. So first we have to file the application. Now during the filing the applications we have to give these detailed informations. Now here name, that is the full name of the applicant, then permanent address will be there, address of the contact agent will be there. So in case of the agent person is any entity, so you have to do the full name of the institutions or the organizations, full name of the authorized representative with the designations, the complete address that you have to give one. So here, if you in case of NRI, you have to give the self-attested copy of overseas residence card or other recognized proof for the NRI status. Or in case of more than one applicant will be there, you have to give the letter of authorizations in favor of one applicant or more will be submitted in annexes 1. So that we'll discuss later on. Then after that, you have to give the profile of your organizations, means complete professional profile or the biodata of the applicants. Then nature of the business, turnover of the organizations, then detailed and specific informations about the nature of excess salt and the biological materials and the associated knowledge to be etc. So for that purpose, you have to give the first you have to identify the biological resources and its traditional use. So under that you have to give the scientific name of the biological resources, common name of the biological resources, and the details of traditional use if relevant and source of such a information. Then you have to give the geographical locations of the proposed collection. तुम्ही कोणत्या एरियामधून तो पर्टिक्युलर बायोलॉजिकल रिसोर्सेस कलेक्ट करणार आहात ते तुम्हाला त्याच्यामधून ते तुम्हाला त्याच्यामध्ये डिटेलमध्ये द्यायचं. सो यू हॅव टू गिव्ह द नेम ऑफ द विलेज, पंचायत, ब्लॉक, तालुका, डिस्ट्रिक्ट अँड स्टेट from where the biological resources is to be collected. Suppose we have to collect it from the Sadavni, so you have to give detailed information. Means Sadavni in Sanmeshwar Taluka, Ratnagiri district in Maharashtra state. So you have to give the detailed informations about that geographical locations. Or if biological resources is to be collected or to procure from the institute or any organizations or any company or any local trader, so you have to provide the exact contact details. Means suppose there are some reserved places are there. Means suppose you have to collect some algae from Malvan. So from the Malvan Marine, so we have to give the detailed information regarding that particular organizations also. Then you have to give the descriptions and the nature of the traditional knowledge of that particular biological resources, and also you have to provide the sources of such information. Means you have to provide some photocopies of relevant informations that you have to attach. Also, you have to provide the full details of the individuals or the communities that holding such a traditional knowledge. After identifying the community that holding that particular traditional knowledge, and tribal knowledge will be there. If there, you have to give that information also. Also, the quantity of the biological resources to be collected. That is, you have to give in an exact way. How much amount of biological resources that you are going to collect it means at where if you are collecting in different parts or the different time durations also, you have to give in that durations also, means exact durations of the period that is proposed for the collecting the biological resources with the schedule. Means time span in which the biological resources is proposed to be collected, and the importantly the name and the contact details of the persons who is authorized to make the collections of the biological resources. So the detailed information about the persons who is going to collect that particular biological resources, that you have to use in your application. So what you have to give in applications? The detailed information about the applicant. If applicant is NRI, you have to do the proof. If any organizations will be there, you have to do the detailed information about that organizations. Second one, we have to give the complete profile of your organizations for which you are collecting the biological resources. Then after that you have to give the detailed informations about the nature of the excess of biological resources or biological materials. Means कोणतं biological resources तुम्ही access करणार आहात, कुठून कलेक्ट करणार आहात, कधी कलेक्ट करणार आहात, त्याबद्दलचं जे असणारे काही ट्रॅडिशनल नॉलेज आहेत किंवा कोणत्या कम्युनिटीला ते बिलॉंग्स करतो त्याबद्दलची काही इन्फॉर्मेशन असेल किंवा कोणत्या सीझन मध्ये तुम्ही कलेक्ट करणार, किती अमाऊंट मध्ये कलेक्ट करणार आहात आणि कोण कलेक्ट करणार आहे त्याच्याबद्दल तुम्हाला डिटेल इन्फॉर्मेशन तुमच्या ऍप्लिकेशन मध्ये फिल करावी लागेल. Then you have to give the brief summary regarding the purpose, use and the proposed and expected outcome also. Means for what purpose you are going to use that resources, for the research purpose or for the biosurvey purpose or for the bioutilization purpose or for the commercialization purpose. So whatever the purpose of utilizing that bio resources, that has to be given, because as we know, there are some species that will diminish after some time, so we have to preserve that species. So the reason of utilizing that species must be mentioned there. So if the reply is affirmative, you have to provide the details also. So the details of any national institution which will be participated in a research and a development activity will be there. So if any national institute will be there, you have to give the details about the roles of that particular national organization or the national institutes which will be participated in the research and development activities. Uh, or you have to submit some MOUs also. Means suppose any foreigner country will be there, if they sign the MOUs with the Indian institute or the Indian organizations, so they have to give the self-attested copy of that MOU uh, uh, with the national organizations or to the foreign companies also. You have to give the full contact details about that particular locations and the R&D office or the R&D departments where actual research will be carried out. Then the economic and other benefits which are including those arising out of any IPR or the patent which are obtained out of the excess biological resources and knowledge that are intended or may accurate or may accrue to the applicant or to the country that may be means any means what is the detailed information about any investments in research and developments or any nature of the benefit that will be arising after getting the uh, means after getting the patent or after getting the rights of that particular research. That also you have to inform. Also, you have to give the estimations of the benefits. Means you have to give the details of the estimated benefits. It will be means आपण जसं एस्टिमेटेड बजेट देतो त्याप्रमाणे तुम्हाला एस्टिमेटेड आउटकम किती येईल त्याचा in not accurately but not in an accurate way but एक टेंटेटिव्ह जो आउटकम असेल कारण त्याच्यावरच तुमचा जो काही बेनिफिट शेअरिंग मेकॅनिझम्स आहे तो डिपेंड्स असतो सो त्या डिटेल्स अबाउट द एस्टिमेटेड बेनिफिट्स then propose mechanisms and arrangements for the benefit sharing means you have to make the agreements with the NPA. So this much amount of benefits I will share with this particular body. So you have to make the agreements also. So a copy of material transfer agreements containing mutual agreed terms between the applicants and the providers of the bioresources and the traditional knowledge. if any. So basically, suppose you have to share the benefits to the local authority also, to the SBB also, and to the NBA also. So you have to equally share the benefits basically. So for that purpose, this importantly this is mentioned under the estimations of the benefit details of the estimated benefits and part B that will be a declaration. So you have to provide some declarations. So there are some declarations they have given under the annexes. So what you have to mention under the application is that just now I explained the detailed information about the applicant, then detailed information about the resources that we are going to utilize the outcome. What will be the outcome after utilizing that particular biological resources? We have to give the detailed information regarding for what purpose that particular biological resources that we are going to use. Now the status of the applications. So after filing the applications, once you receive the receipt of the applications, you can check the status of the applicant. Sorry, basically the officer and the persons that concerned authority shall satisfy that the applicant is covered under the section 7 means जे आपण मगाशी बघितलं की जे एक्सेप्शन्स आहेत. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दॅट जर कोणता येणारा वगैरे असेल तर त्याचं स्क्रुटिनायझेशन केलं जातं. मीन्स तो ऍप्लिकंट कोण आहे. सो बेसिकली दॅट विल बी एक्झामिनिंग बाय द आयडेंटिफाईंग by the identity proof and the address proof of the applicant, which is given along with the form. So we have seen what included in applications also. त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला address proof द्यावा लागतो. So from that we can check the status of applicants. Then screening of the applications will be carried out on the receipt of the applications. The officer or the person of the concerned authority shall ensure that the applicant has filed the respective columns appropriately and all the requested documents are attached to that particular application form. If the application is complete in all the respect and requested application fees has to be paid, then the applications can be taken up for the further processing. The further processing is that screening of the application will be carried out. So under that purpose of the access, means the officer verify whether the applicant has mentioned the exact purpose of accessing the biological resources, means whether for the commercialization utilizations or for the biosurvey and for the bioutilizations of the commercial uh, for the bioutilizations or for the commercial utilizations purpose that we are using. Also, so the purpose of access of biological resources that also check. Then about the biological resources, the officers verify whether the biological resources to be accessed are clearly specified in the applications along with the common and the scientific names, their parts and the quantity whether they are mentioned. So just we have discussed in the application form, you have to mention their common name and the traditional name, how much amount of quantities that you are going to collect it from the specific regions, which parts that you have to going to collect, whether it is stem, whether it is a root, or any parts of that particular plants. That also we have to mention in the application form. The officers also verifies if the biological resources to be accessed is from the forest area or from the cultivated area or from the traders or the communities or the joint forest management committee or that is JFMC. So in case of any discrepancy or any lack of the information, the applications will be resent and they have to submit again by providing the detailed informations. Then again, sorry, in that particular applications, they have to provide the geographical locations as we have discussed is from the village, in panchayat, then taluka, then district, then state, and all the geographical areas that has to be mentioned there. Then the quantity of biological resources, how much quantity that we are going to collect it in which season by which persons also. So that also we have to give the details and the pattern species. So the officer has to be verify that this particular species is not a rare species. So you have to check the status of that biological resources that to be accessed by that particular applicant. त्यानंतर तो त्याची rare species असेल आणि त्याचा जर access असेल तर obviously species कुठेतरी loss होणार. So to avoid that, that particular officers that has to be checked whether this particular biological resources which is the rare species or not. So these are the some points that they have to cover that has to be checked while filing the applications. Then after that, the consultations means after scrutinizations of the applications, the consultations with the biodiversity management committee will take place. So, in the event of the excessive biological resources from the wild and the cultivated of the communities, the SPBs that is communicate with the BMCs. First, State Biodiversity Board that will communicated with the biodiversity management committees, so that provides if the biological resources are proposed to be collected from that particular uh, excuse collections from that particular regions also. So basically, why they are consulting with the BMC, because as I have already discussed, BMC that will work on a local level. But the specific territory मधल्या जे काही resources आहेत त्याबद्दल detailed information की त्या BMC ला जास्त असते as compared to the SDB. So for that purpose, they have to consult with the BMC, and after consulting with the BMC or the local body, then State Biodiversity Board will decide the applications in consultations with the expert committees. Now, consultations with the expert committees. The expert committees, which is the panels which having the some expertise, means they have the experience in that specific regions, or they have the experience regarding that specific resources. So the SBP may form one committee which is having the experts which drawn from the various fields for the control the examinations of the applications, also for the determinations of the benefit sharing and advising the SBPs on a techno-legal issues. For that purpose, the expert committees is important role. Then, after passing to the expert committees, it will be determined for the benefit share. So with regard to the benefit, with regard to the determination of the benefit sharing, there are some guidelines that are outlined by the Biological Resources Act. So you have to the biological resources are sourced from the specific jurisdictions of the two or more BMCs. Whatever the total amount will be there, that will be equally shared between that two BMCs. Then, when the particular biological resources is of a high economic value, the benefit sharing may include upfront payment as decided by the SPPs. If in case of the IPR holder, who obtain the approval from the NPS, again they have to share the benefits to the NPA also. Then after discussing the benefit sharing, the application is granted for use of the biological resources, and then after granting the approval, last one, that is the they have to monitor the mechanisms of benefit sharing. Means properly the sharing होता है कि नहीं. Basically there are some percentage are there. So SBB may retains a share not exceeding 5% of the benefits that is realized over the administrative charges, and remaining 95% of the benefits shall be passed on the BMC. Means total 100% पैकी फक्त 5% हा स्टेट बायोडायव्हर्सिटी बोर्डला जातो, उरलेला 95% हा तुमच्या लोकल मॅनेजमेंटला जातो. So likewise, basically, there is one register is there. So when register is maintained on benefit sharing, there is the details of the applications, approval granted, grant of approval, the benefit sharing component, the fixed rate, and whatever the benefit that is received from that particular applicant, that is all are entered into that register. So that can be monitored whether they have properly shared the benefits or not. So this is the process. First, to file the applications. After filing the applications, scrutinizations will be carried out. So in that, these particular things are checked: status of the applicant, purpose of the access, biological resources, locations, quantity of the biological resources, data specifically there. So that can be observed. Then after successfully scrutinization of the applications, the officer will consult with the biodiversity management committee, that is BMC. Then They consult with the expert committees. After consulting with the expert committees, they decide about the sharing, benefit sharing. Then after the benefit sharing, they grant the approvals, and after utilizing the resources, there is one mechanism they have adopted for the to check the benefit sharing. To monitor the benefit sharing, they have maintained one register also. So this is the basic steps that are involved in filing the application. So as I already discussed, there are four different forms are there. Form number one, that is excess of biological resources which are offering or obtaining from India or associated traditional knowledge or for research, commercial utilization of the biosurvey or the bioeducation purpose. So here is the fees they have mentioned 10,000 rupees that you have to pay. So any non-Indian, NRI, foreign entities or the Indian entities having non-Indian participations in share capital can be applied. Then form number two, that is for the transfer the research of, so sorry, transfer the result of the research. So you have to pay the 5,000 rupees fees. Then form number three, for the applying of the intellectual property rights for the inventions that are based on any research or the information or the biological resources. You have to pay the 500 rupees fees only. And then form number five, that is for the transfer of biologicals and the traditional biological resources and knowledge of already access to the third party. So to pay the 10,000 fees. So these are different forms. So this is basically a process for the applications under the Biological Diversity Act and Rule 2004. So first you have to file the applicants, access for the biological. These are the four different forms are there. So first form, that is access for the biological resources. Second form, transfers of the research result. Form 3 for the patent, is for the IPI. Then third party knowledge, transferring knowledge to the third party. That is form number 4. It is transferred to the MBA secretary. Then you have to pay the fees to the MBA fund or the SPB fund. If you are Indian, you have to first pay the fee to the SPBs. If you are the foreigner, you have to pay the fees to the NBA fund. Then the verifications will be carried out. After the verifications, then consultations with the SBB, State Biodiversity Board. This is applications for the MPA I am talking. Then consultations with the SBB, then to the BMC and to the local bodies. Then some expectations for the access and the verification is will be there. It will be sent to the secretary of the MPA again. Then to set the chairman of MPA. Then here to the MPA clearance letter with the model agreement will be there. It will send to the applicants. Then applicant send the signed agreements with the benefit sharing. Then MPA approve the process and it will publish in MPA websites and it will maintain for the MPA record for the information purpose. So this is the total process for the applications you have to file to utilize the resources in India. So these are the some penalties are there. So if you are not following the rules under the NBA, means if you are not taking the permissions from the specific authority prior to use of that resources. So these are the improvement. So these are the punishments they are given. So under section 55, section 3, section 4, and section 6 that we have already discussed. Uh, which a person securing permission safety now. So there will be the imprisonment for the extended to the 5 years or the fine it may extend to the 10 lakh rupees or for the damage caused more than 10 lakh rupees fine may be commensurate with the damage whatever the damage will be the cost. And then section C or entry under 24 imprisonment extended to the 3 years or the fine that will be extended to the 5 lakh rupees or if any order controversial will be there fine of 1 lakh rupees and continuations of the subsequent offences with a fine which will be extended up to 2 lakh rupees. So the penalties and punishments are there. If you are not following what are the rules and regulations under this particular section that we have already discussed, section 3, persons, section 4.6, if you are not taking the permissions, without taking the permissions, if you are utilizing the resources, so that particular punishments are there. And under section 7, without intimating the SPPs also. If you are Indian, if you are Indians, you have to inform the NBA, sorry, SPPs also before utilizing their resources. So this is all regarding the National Biodiversity Authority Act or the National Biodiversity Act, where the main aim of National Biodiversity Act is that the three basic objective of this National Biodiversity Act is that conservation, utilizations, and equitable sharing of the benefits, the profit which will occurs or which will arises of sharing the resources which are available in Indian territory. So, in last question paper, they have asked regarding the mechanisms of National Biodiversity Act or the Biodiversity of Act or the mechanisms of the depository bodies. So you have to give the mechanisms of all the three bodies. How NBA works, then how SBB works, and how BMC works. So that we have already discussed what are the roles of each and every committees also. Then uh, they have asked about CBD also, Conventions of Biodiversity. So you have to give little information about that particular conventions, where it is takes place, what are the main aim of that conventions. Also, we have to discuss about the two agreements also, Nagoya agreements and Cartagena Protocol. So we have to discuss about that if they will ask about the CBD. Okay. So this is all regarding the biological diversity theory. So here our one more topic is over. In next lectures we'll discuss about the trademark. Okay, so we'll stop here. Then I will share the PowerPoint as well as we will share the videos also. One more thing for period